Heading into their bye, the Cardinal football team is 4-0 and coming off a win against the Millikin Big Blue. We have Coach Jeff Thorne, quarterback Broc Rutter, and offensive lineman Alec Licar on to chat about it. Plus, a look at the life of Dennis Ryan, longtime North Central swim coach, and the lives he touched on this week's Cardinal Corner. All that and more is next on the Red Zone.
Presenting sponsor of the Red Zone is Athletico, the preferred provider of physical therapy and athletic training for North Central College.
Last year, the game came down to the fourth quarter. This year, the Cardinals started fast and never let up. It's time for the highlight from the Cardinals' win over the Big Blue. After a first down picked up by an O'Shane Brown 8-yard run, Rutter finds Alex Ulmer, who creates terrific separation. Cardinals take a quick 7-0 lead just 4 minutes in. Time to see what sophomore quarterback Nico Stepina and the Millikin offense can do, and early on, not much. Josh Leonard and Tommy Soar combine on the sack, Big Blue punting away on their first drive. Next drive for NCC, 2nd and 19 from the 46, no problem for Brown. Stretches the play outside for a run of 11 yards. That would make it 3rd and 8. So the Cardinals looking for the big fella. Cool, going up and taking what's his. Boy, it's got to be nice for Rutter to have a 6'4" target. That sets up Austin Brunig. The junior still trying to get going here in 2016. How about that pickup of 8? Cardinals knock it on the door. 2 plays later and Brunig glides untouched into the end zone. First touchdown of the season, surprising after he recorded 18 a year ago. Already trailing 14-0, Big Blue pulling out a big play. The old flea flicker. Stepina heaving it deep, and Jordan Smith is there to haul it in. A gain of 60. Next play, Stepina finds Gerald Perry over the middle. Big Blue now threatening deep in NCC territory. Cardinals looking to turn Millikin away, and this play will loom large. Ben Wiley whipping the running back George Jimerson Jr. to the turf, tack on an unsportsmanlike contact penalty, and Millikin eventually turning the ball over on downs. The red and black back with it on offense. Rutter has thrown some pretty balls this year, but this one might take the cake. Pinpoints a teardropper right on Ulmer. The Cardinals racing out to a 21-0 advantage. Next drive, and Millikin's offense finally showing up. Stepina to Perry. That's just well executed. 21-7. Teams trading a pair of quiet drives, most of that because the Cardinal defense is bringing the heat. Justin Sturzma wrapping up the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. Next snap, well, similar fate for the quarterback. Tyler Oakley comes whizzing in for the sack. Stepina drops 6 times in the ballgame. Brunig again, basically the identical play from the first touchdown run. Brunig finishing with 94 yards on the ground and 2 scores. Cardinals still pounding away after intermission. Jack Dibble getting the 2-yard plunge, his second of the season. And you know what? Let's get him another, shall we? Dibble, this time from 22 yards out. The Cardinals improved to 4-0, beating Millikin 42-7, moving up to number 6 in the latest D3Football.com poll. Cardinals hitting their bye week with a win, and now we have head coach Jeff Thorne on to talk about it. And coach, last year Millikin gave you a good test through 3 quarters. You're able to pull away in the end. This year, you hit the accelerator in the beginning of the game, never looked back. What did you take away from that contest?
Our guys are just showing up on Saturdays ready to play. They're focused, and there's a different mindset with this team. We felt like that was the case several months ago, and it is indeed the case. They're doing a great job of going 1 week at a time and preparing themselves throughout the week, and then showing up on Saturday ready to play a football game.
I know you were focusing on trying to get the running game established, coming away 4 rushing touchdowns. Do you feel like you did that?
Yeah, we definitely made progress in that area. We're still not where we want to be. We're still working towards that. But it was good to see us, do some really good things on the ground, and we saw some good things on film as well from our offensive linemen, and our running backs did a nice job of pressing the line of scrimmage and hitting the right running lane. So definitely progress was made, but not quite where we want to be still.
Jack Dibble looked pretty good.
Yeah,
some
good.
Explosiveness. I mean, it's got to be nice to have an embarrassment of riches in the backfield.
We're blessed, without a doubt. When you can bring Jack off the bench as your 3rd running back and watch him do what he did, He's talented, very talented kid.
Yeah.
And Will Connick, the freshman,
Yeah.
Another one. So, yes, we are very fortunate to have a number of guys that can go out there and really do a nice job for us.
Is it nice to know that even when maybe the running game isn't performing up to the way you would like it, to have the passing game kind of in your back pocket and say, if we need to go to it, we can?
Yeah, again, we're fortunate to have a number of receivers we can throw on the field and tight ends. And with the way that Broc is executing the offense right now, it certainly is a luxury to have that ability to drop back and throw it and feel real comfortable about what we're doing at any given time.
Alex Ulmer is having a really special season. He's doing some incredible things on the field. You look at that 21-yard catch and run that he had on the sideline, made 3 guys completely whiff.
Yeah.
In the landscape of the program's history, is he one of the better receivers that you've seen come through?
Oh, yeah. He's very talented. He's a gamer.
Yeah.
You know, every time that we need a play, Alex has been a guy that's stepped up. Think back to the 2014 Wheaton game. We're down 31-23, and it's 4th and 8, and we hit Alex on a drag, and he goes 59 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And then we're able to get the 2-point conversion. But those are the types of things he's done here for the last few years. And it's fun to watch him right now because there's a confidence level that he hasn't, not that he lacked confidence before, but it's just at another level. Tough kid too, really tough kid. So he's got everything that you look for in a receiver. Efficiency
and very careful with the football, kind of the trademarks of the offense right now. You look back, and the most successful season under you and your dad was 2013, very few turnovers as well. Is that the hallmark of a really strong team, being able to protect the football?
I think so. I think you really help your defense out when the offense is taking care of the football and holding on to the ball and sustaining some drives. That's what we've been able to do by and large this season. And we certainly look to continue to do that. And it's a rallying cry for us, protect the football.
Defensively, I kind of feel like we're a broken record, but it's a very good record to be listening to because they're terrific.
Yeah.
Defensively up front, more pressure with the front 7. I think 6 sacks of Nico Stepina, who's a mobile quarterback, mind you.
Right.
I mean, does this unit have even more room to grow?
Yeah, I think we can get better on both sides of the ball and special teams. Certainly, we're never going to be satisfied. We're always reaching to get a little bit better. We should have had a 7th sack. I mean, Justin Sersma had the kid wrapped up, and he made a really, really heady play and kind of shuffled the ball off to his running back. Great play by the quarterback.
Yeah.
But, without a doubt, there's still room to improve. We have so many young guys playing and on the defensive line that they're going to continue to grow and get better week by week. So it's exciting.
From last year at this point now to this season, forget the win-loss record. I know that's hard to do sometimes, but from a football team standpoint, how much progress have you made? Because it just seems like this team is working as more of a cohesive unit, and the game flow is really working in your favor.
I think some of the things we did in the offseason, we're really starting to see the benefit of those things that we did with, the Navy SEALs come to mind, and some of the things that we talked about with those gentlemen are really resonating with our guys. They're putting those words into action.
Yeah.
And the level of accountability within our program is at the highest level it's ever been at.
Interesting.
And that's a good thing.
Well, we're going to check the tape coming up next. We got to take a break, and that's coming up next right now on the Red Zone. Welcome back to the Red Zone, and now it's time to get a sneak peek inside the film room. It's time for Check the Tape.
This Red Zone segment is sponsored by M&M Rentals.
Now, Coach, the first play I want to get to is an Austin Brunick touchdown run. He did it 18 times last year. This is the first time he was able to cross that goal line. But it was a quick snap decision by Broc here to pitch the ball out to Austin, and obviously when he gets space, the guy's gone.
Yeah, great job by Broc. The end closed pretty quickly. He was ready to pitch the ball. It's a simple option play and accurate pitch. Austin catches, and we did a nice job on the outside as well, running our guy off, and then getting him blocked. That's Ryan Kuhl out there. So he always does a good job with that.
Now, Joe Fairley's kind of the leader on that offensive line. He was a starter last year as well as this year. It looked like he got to the second level.
Yeah, that's the whole key to the play. We've got to get a good pitch to the running back, but if our tackle can climb to that linebacker, then we have a good chance at a big gain, or in that case, a short gain for a touchdown.
Yeah, wasn't even touched.
Right.
Another offensive play. This one, Broc Rutter drops an absolute perfect pass to Alex Ulmer. The route running for Alex here was pretty precise, it seemed like.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that. He knows exactly. Being a senior, he's done that a few times. The great thing about this play is, Millikin's bringing pressure. Broc hits the top of his drop, throws the ball before Alex has made his break. That you work on that like crazy. You harp on that with quarterbacks. Most of them aren't willing to do it.
Yeah,
that's a high level. Again, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago with his throw to Corey Hartema. It's hard. You can't teach that. That's just a great player making a great play, and you can't put a high enough price tag on accuracy.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex could have caught that ball with his eyes closed. I mean, it literally hit him right in the chest.
Yeah.
So it was perfectly executed.
As a quarterback, I know you're trying to set up the defense with your body language and your eyes, but as a wide receiver for Alex Ulmer, is he trying to set up his man with some sort of move?
Yeah, there's techniques used to gain leverage. The game is about numbers and leverage.
Yeah.
So our guys understand that, and Alex was able to put himself in a position to make a really nice move and get himself some space.
I want to talk about some leverage. Here's Tyler Oakley using just about every bit of his speed as he breaks through the line and just wraps up this quarterback in short order.
Yeah, Tyler is a heck of an athlete. He's battled some injuries, and it's great to have him back on the field. You see the talent that he has, the speed that he has coming from that outside linebacker position. He's going to make a lot of plays as the year continues to progress.
Looks like he has that mechanical arm.
Yeah, he had to sit out week one. He didn't get to play week one. Came back for the Weber game and has slowly been getting more and more reps. And really these last two games he's played a lot.
You talk about a guy that's been injured. Are some guys beat up on the team. Has the bye week come at kind of a perfect time for you guys?
Perfect time. Yeah. John Egan went down in the game, and we got good news over the weekend. He's in a boot and trying to heal, so this week helps him.
Yep.
And some other guys just with some kind of nagging aches and pains, having a week to recover and be ready for North Park in a week and a half is very timely.
Perfect segue. North Park, I know it's a week and a half away, but what can we expect from the Vikings?
They're going to play hard, and they're going to play physical, and that's been the case for all the years that we've been at North Central. Coach Conway's done a great job with that program. His son TD is a fantastic quarterback. They've got some youth, I think, at the receiver position, so I don't think their passing game has really completely gelled yet.
Yeah.
And they've got this weekend, and then when they play us, it would not shock me at all if all of a sudden they get that offense moving again.
Is there a better name for a quarterback than TD?
I don't think so.
Coach, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the bye week, and we'll see what you can do against North Park.
Thanks, Kevin.
Broc Rutter and Alec Licar join me on set. We'll be right back on the Red Zone. We go from two defensive guys last week to two offensive guys this week. Broc Rutter and Alec Licar are here. And Broc, I want to start with you. The offense just seems to be humming along right now. The running game is starting to get going. Are you guys feeling at an all-time confidence high right now?
Yeah, I think we're starting to click in as a group together, working really hard, getting better and better every week in practice. But I think we also know that we have a lot of room for improvement. And I think every single week we're just going into practice knowing that we could get better and working on the things.
Your game, we've seen a couple dimensions this season. We've seen you run a few times, the deep ball, the short ball. I mean, there's just so many different aspects that teams now have to prepare for. As a quarterback and as you evaluate yourself, what have you seen as your strength? What would you define your strength as a safety?
I think my strength is just having so many guys that I could throw to and have complete trust in, knowing they'll be in the right spot at the right time, and just I have the easy job. Just get it out of my hands and let them make the plays.
Kind of like the point guard on a basketball team,
Exactly.
spreading the love to everybody, the assist guy.
Exactly.
Now, Alec, the offensive line has had a couple of shuffling this year. What's the biggest challenge when you have guys coming in and moving around on that offensive line?
It's just the overall cohesion with the group. Yeah. Obviously, when you have different people moving around, especially different positions, you have to learn different steps, different things a little bit different. But that being said, like Broc said, we've been slowly improving, and I know we just need to take that big jump, and we'll get to where we need to go. We'll find that set, and we'll run the ball, obviously, a lot better.
Joe's, he's come in, he's started for 2 years. Is he kind of that constant on the offensive line at the left tackle position?
Yes, he's definitely the leader of the line. He's a captain, and he's done a great job being an example for the younger guys, and he's been, earlier in his career, he was definitely more a quieter person, but as coaches have challenged him to step up, he's definitely stepped up and really helped us keep our energy.
You've moved a couple of times. As an offensive lineman, what are the different responsibilities that you've noticed change from spot to spot?
As a center, a lot more mental challenges. And as things go wider, like at tackle, it's a lot more athleticism they need to rely on.
Yeah.
And at guard, it's a lot more physicality. Just with like pulls and interior blocking, you really need to use your hands and just try to move guys.
Interesting. You kind of get lumped together as offensive linemen. There are skill sets at different positions. It's interesting. Broc, back to you. You have 2 running backs behind you. Well, really 3. That are really explosive, maybe 4, really explosive guys. Is that nice to know that you have that level of athleticism behind you?
Yeah, O'Shane and Austin, they're both really athletic, and they both know exactly what they're doing. They're very smart guys, and you can always just rely on them to get their job done and do what they're supposed to do.
It's kind of like home run hitters in the sense that you never know when they're going to go for 70 or 80 yards. Is that potential as an offense to just be one play into a drive and all of a sudden it's over? Is that kind of nice?
Yeah, it's awesome. They haven't really had a chance to break too many yet, but they're getting there. You could see that they're getting their chances, and I think later in the year they'll be able to click and burst out a few big runs. You
guys watch the defense. I'll go to Broc with this one first. How do you think you'd fare against that fierce defense? I know you don't have to face them. You face them in practice, but in a real game setting.
Yeah, going against them in practice, you can really tell how disciplined they are. They all know exactly what they're doing, and they play really fast, and they play with a ton of confidence. So I think going against them would be a very tall task, and they're just playing really well.
Alec, how does it feel being 4-0 right now?
It feels awesome. That being said, we still have our goal. We've been 1-0 for 4 weeks now, and so far so good. But we still have a goal in mind, and we're going to get there.
All right, it's time for some quick hits. These are not at all to do with football. So you ready?
Yep.
Because here we go. We'll start with Alec for this one. If you were an extreme sport athlete, if you were the adventurous type, what sport would you be?
I would say when I was younger, I used to snowboard. So I would say I'm a little bit bigger now, but snowboarding definitely. It's a lot of fun when you know how to do it, and it's just even crashing sometimes was fun, to be honest. See,
that's not fun for me because I'm always on my backside if I try to snowboard. So kudos to you for being able to do that. How about you, Broc?
I would have to say, growing up, I was always a skier. I would always go on ski trips with my family. So I would say some kind of like downhill skiing. I would like that. I'm not a big fan of heights, but I think that would be the one sport to go to.
Gradual inclines,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Nice leisurely glide down the hill. Alec, favorite game console?
The game console I spent most time, so obviously it was Xboxes, but Both of them I've spent time on, but GameCube I've spent the most in my time on.
I'm a GameCube guy.
So so many classic games on that, and it was the first console I got, and so there's so many things that I still, even today, I would definitely go back and play, and I have gone back and played. So.
Smash or Kart?
Both are so good. on GameCube Kart, I would say Double Dash.
All right, you're my guy right now. This is awesome. Broc, if you had to pick one season to live in, summer, winter, fall, or spring, you could only live in that one season, what would it be?
I would say summer. I'm a big warm weather kind of guy. I'm not a big fan of the cold. I'll go skiing, but I'm going to really dress for it. And I just like the warm weather and being able to go outside and just have fun outside.
All right, thanks guys for stopping by. Rest up this week, and then we'll see what you guys can do against North Park. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break. The Cardinal Corner is on deck. We'll be right back.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
This Red Zone segment is sponsored by Belgio's Catering.
Easy laugh and well loved by all of his athletes, but just an intense drive for excellence. And again, if you just walk in there and look at all of the All-American plaques, they all happened after he got here.
Steve Sellers is referring to the former head men's and women's swimming coach, the late Dennis Ryan. To many, he was coach, a very good one. In fact, the 1990 NCAA Division III Coach of the Year and a 4-time Illinois Swimming Association Coach of the Year. Meanwhile, to others, such as 2003 grad Tim Calderwood, he was a father figure.
Coach was so much more than a coach. And coach is a name that's always going to be associated with it. But he taught me how to be a better man, to the point now where I'm a better husband as a result and a better father as a result.
Ryan recently passed away at the age of 69, leaving behind a legacy inside and outside the pool at Murner Fieldhouse. Longtime friend and North Central Athletic Director Jim Miller can sum up the essence of Ryan in short order.
I guess it comes down to what I say will soon be forgotten, but how you make people feel will always be remembered, and that's really what he was about. He made everybody feel good.
Sellers is now the men's golf coach at North Central, but in 1974, he captained Ryan's first Cardinal swim team, and it got off to, well, shall we say, not such a groovy start.
We were a ragged bunch. I mean, we were all hippies with big long hair and ponytails and stuff. And his first meeting with us, he said he'd like us to cut our hair. And literally the entire team burst out laughing because that wasn't going to happen, in that day and age.
As former athletes, friends, and family gather in the facility that he once called home, current swim coach Mark Schmidt acknowledges the virtues that made Ryan so endearing and enduring, and expresses the importance of furthering them.
The culture was that of inclusion, support, positivity, hard work, all while having fun, which is incredibly important, especially for a Division III sports program where there are no scholarships. Fun goes a long way in this sport.
Ryan may have passed away, but his spirit and school pride are still felt, while the pillars of competitiveness and fun that he built the program on remain strong. It's time for this week's Play of the Game. Having already connected for 6 earlier in the game, Broc Rutter and Alex Ulmer pair up again, this time on a beautifully executed corner route. How about that throw from Rutter? Drops it right into the lap of Ulmer, who, by the way, ran a precise route. That may just be an unguardable play. It certainly is the play of the game.
Today is Saturday.
60 minutes of physical activity a day and eating well can help get your child healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov. That's letsmove.gov.
It's time for our weekly sit-down with North Central Sports Information Director Clark Tusher. And Clark, I want to start with soccer because both the men's and women's teams are now heading into conference play. Similar script for last year, or for this year as opposed to last year for the men's team. Rough non-conference, but they're looking like they might turn it around for conference play. Is that the sense?
Yeah, it's good that they were able to get a win in their most recent game. Put a couple of goals on the board. They'd gone through a 2-week stretch where they hadn't been able to put a ball in the net for whatever reason. So to be able to kind of get that put behind them, it gives them a chance to kind of mentally start fresh as they go into conference play against a really good Carthage team on Saturday.
Chandler Ola, I think, just took home the Defensive Player of the Week for the CCIW. The back end looks pretty good, though. Defensively, they look like they can shut down opponents.
Yeah, Chandler's an important guy. He makes a lot of things happen on both ends of the field. That midfield really is an important area in terms of establishing possession.
Yeah.
So you're not on the run chasing other teams' offensive players a majority of the game and putting a lot of pressure on your back four and your goalkeeper. So that possession in the midfield is going to help that defense out quite a bit.
Now, the women's team is on a bit of a skid as well, but a lot of really close games. Are they close to maybe flipping that and actually pulling out some of those games?
Yeah, it feels like it. You get the sense, having watched them play the last couple of games, they just got a recent transfer named Catherine Kent, who's the younger sister of a former football player here, Ryan Kent. And she was at a Division I institution and looked to make a move. And kind of got started a little late, but is kind of playing her way into shape and getting used to what's happening with the rest of the team. And they're figuring out where they can all fit now that they had this new piece to use that's pretty talented. And I think that they've had enough time now to put that to the most effective use once they get started here in the conference play.
Well, it'll be fun to watch both teams. One team that's fun to watch right now is the women's volleyball team. They're young, and they're starting to win on a consistent basis. Is this a team that we need to watch out for once they hit their groove?
It might be. Very easily measurable improvement from early in the season. They had, they're actually moved to a younger lineup. Some younger players had proven themselves and earned a chance to get more playing time and more representation in the rotation. And they just recently played Ripon College, who had beaten them 3-0 early in the season, and turned around and beat them 3-0 last weekend. So certainly another team that seems to be coming together at an appropriate time as they get into the meat of their conference schedule coming up here next week.
Let's chat about football for a second. More awards for this team as well, some weekly winners. It just seems like every week there's a stand-up performer, but as a team, they're looking awfully good. Can you remember, aside from 2013, a team that is quite this good as early on as they are?
The 2010 team, had some of that. They had the best defensive player in the nation in the middle of the field, in Matt Wenger. So that definitely helped cover up a lot of things. But definitely an encouraging thing to see so many different guys, because nobody's doubled up yet either. So and having to get two of the last three special teams awards. Jeff talked a lot in the preseason about how they were going to need to be good on special teams in order just to get where they wanted to go, and it certainly looks like they're on their way to being there.
Now, the last thing I want to get to is I know you guys in the Sports Information Office are doing some new things, some really cool things. What changes have you made this year, and what kind of things can Cardinal fans expect to see? Well,
we're getting into a little more of behind the scenes, like video footage, and adding a video element to some of the things that we've been doing before. We just started our Cardinal Close-Up series, which we've been doing for a few years now, on Mondays throughout the school year, featuring an athlete from a different teams. And we've added a video segment to that interview. We just did the first one this past week, and it was really well received. So those will be coming out typically Monday mornings. We've also got a series that'll be focusing on administrators and staff members.
Cool.
That'll be coming out on Thursdays, probably twice a term. So we probably got the first one of those coming out here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So we've been able to add some really talented staff that can make those things a lot easier than they would be if I was trying to do them myself. So taking advantage of some people's talents, and I think people are really going to like what they see.
Well, it's already getting off to a good start, so nice job on that, and we look forward to seeing what else you guys can do.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
You got it.
That's all the time we have for this edition of the Red Zone. The Cardinal football team heads into the bye, and so do we. The next show airs on October 13th, just ahead of the big tilt with Wheaton. I'm Kevin Jackman. We'll see you next time on a brand new episode of the Red Zone.